looking cuckoo or at the wrong light, or where should I be looking at?
You're looking right here. Everything is great. All right, we're going live now, man.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast. This evening, we have a wonderful guest with us, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than Sister Lorraine out of New York. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
By way of Delaware.
By way of Delaware, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm in Delaware.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, ma'am. Well, as many of us know, and some may not know, October 7th was the birthday of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I wanted to do something very special on the People's Podcast to let everyone know, people who saw him speak or people who have been impacted by his life and are impacted by his life. And we have someone who actually got to see him for multiple years at Savior's Day speak in person. And that's none other than Sister Lorraine. The first question that I have for you, ma'am, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
When did I first hear the teachings?
Yes, ma'am.
From my father, as a young lady growing up in New York. My father, from what I was told in the story that was told, that my father had seen Malcolm X on 125th Street. And he was teaching, and his brother asked him to go, come listen to this man, Malcolm X, in Harlem. So my father went, and he said he was amazing with Malcolm was teaching. And he said, if next time anybody want to come, tell them to come down to the mosque, come on 16th Street, come down to the temple, and you could join up for the Nation of Islam. So I was like, oh, wow. One time he just heard Malcolm, and he came home, and my mom was, she was an Eastern Star. And so my father came, so I'm the baby. So my brothers and sisters, my father got them going and got them to, go and register and get their X. So I was a mama's girl, So it didn't matter because I was still young, so I didn't have to make those choices. But as time went on, my dad, he was just watching me grow. He never pushed me to do anything, but my mom had me going to the Eastern Star with her, with the ladies, cooking dinners and everything. So I wasn't pressured to do anything, but he was always there talking he was the lifeguard. I grew up on the Lower East Side, and he was a lifeguard at the swimming pool. So that's how he did his fishing and selling the bean pies and the Muhammad speaks. And he knew I could read. So he used to, I can't see. Well, this is how he got me to start reading the paper. Oh, my eyes. Baby, can you come and read the paper? And as I got old, I got it. And so I used to read it for him and everything. Daddy's girl.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Lorraine. I guess I got one question. People in the comments are saying there's like a radio in the background or something. Is
that my gosh.
Yes, ma'am. While she turns the radio down, I'm talking to everybody in the comments.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. My sister Naima says, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam.
Okay, thank you.
Resilient Taylor says, alaikum salam. Brother Nelson Ramos from Massachusetts. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sister Miriam, as well. Thank everyone who continues to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. Right back with Sister Lorraine. And if you all have any guest suggestions or would like to come on yourself, please message me on Facebook, Instagram, and or YouTube so that we can get our lineup for this month for all of the guests. Okay, back to you, Sister Lorraine. Your father has you reading Muhammad speech.
Yes, I was young, so Dad used to. He said he couldn't see, with his glasses. So can I read, the Muhammad speaks for him? So I was like, okay. And so I started reading it and, really enjoying the articles. And I knew who Elijah Muhammad was, but I was still young, so it wasn't no rush for me to join the nation at the time.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me, Sister Lorraine?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
As time went on, I started getting older. So my sisters, they got married, they're MGTs, they got their ex, they married, and they go into the temple, they moved out. So I was still the baby. So, hey, So my brothers, they FOIs, and they talking to me, and they like, when you gonna like go get your, I said, oh no, I'm going to college, and then I'm going to be acting, and I don't want any children right now, because I seen our sister was having children. I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to travel, and so my mom wanted to like keep me with the sisters, right? So one day these brothers, they came, they was from Newark, New Jersey, and they came down, and they had the Muhammad Speaks, and they were handsome, and we were teenagers then. And they said, sister, would you like a Muhammad Speaks? Would you come on over here, y'all? Because I said, oh yeah, my brother sell those papers and my dad. They said, oh, he do. So are you Muslim? Oh, no. They said, I said, not now, maybe later on. So my girlfriends, they were like, they're cute. We're teenagers, they're cute. And they was like, would you like to come out to the temple and hear the teachings and stuff? So I was like, okay. So they came, I think a week or so or something, they came back and they picked us up and they took us to the temple. And Minister Farrakhan was speaking, and we was just sitting there listening. We didn't say anything. So they said, they had a blackboard. I always remember a blackboard. They had a black man hanging. Then they had a blackboard with the nation flag on it. And I was really enthusiastic about that blackboard. So, and he said, would you like to come up and join? And so me and my girlfriends, we all looked at each other, and it just, something just hit me. And I got up, and my other girlfriend got up, and they'll all be pleased with her, she passed away. And they told us, they said, well, we would have you go to the MGT class and blah, blah, blah. But I said, okay. But then when I went home, my mom they were giving a big party for the Eastern Star. That following Sunday, when I was supposed to go back, to the mosque and everything. And I wrote my letter and I told my sisters, but I didn't want to hurt my mom's feelings, and my letter passed. So now I'm registered Muslim. Now I'm not telling daddy or mommy, because I don't want the house to be, but my sisters was like, take it easy. I didn't want to hurt my mom, because I really was going to be an Eastern Star, do everything, wear the white. And so well, boy, this is so beautiful memories. And I got my uniform made. Sister Captain Amina, may Allah be pleased with her. She was my first captain, and Captain Lieutenant Cortel. And I remember getting dressed and coming out of the bedroom with my headpiece and my uniform. And my father's eyes was like, oh my, because I didn't tell him. I didn't tell daddy. So, and my mom was like, well, what are you doing? I said, Mom, I joined the nation. She said, well, we're going to have the big thing coming up, and you got to be there. You're ready. We're going to recite. And I was like, I'm going to the mosque. And I don't know, she just looked at me in some kind of way, but that's my mom. So she was like, well, you go ahead, and maybe later on you'll decide what you want to do, because you're still young. So I thank my parents that they didn't force me into it. It was those brothers that came, and we were looking at, because they had pretty cars. We were like, oh, look at those guys.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the processing part, we recited, and they had the vanguards, and the restaurant was downstairs. Now the whole block of, if anybody know the temple, we had the health food store, we had the restaurant, the barbershop, the whole corner of 116th Street, the temple, all that we had, right? So they across the street was the Steak and Takes. If anybody can remember the Steak and Takes, they had Steak and Take on 125th Street, 135th, all the Steak and Takes, all the business. So everybody was thriving. It was I got to see Muhammad Ali. My sister was going to, she had went to Save His Day, and she told us about Muhammad Ali and a couple of other people that was joining the nation. But it was a thriving time. And what really helped me was that when I got off the train and I looked on a Saturday or on the weekend, you can see all the rainbows of all the different color headpieces in Harlem. I mean, they was like little umbrellas, you know? So like it was like a joyful time. You know, so I have very good memories of coming in because I wanted to come. My parents didn't force me to come. So that was the good thing. And to meet the sisters, and then my sisters, they were proud, they helped me, they were married. And my first big event was in my life is when they had bombed the temple, and I looked at my dad's eyes, and he got a call, and my mom was kind of like, she was a little scared, but she went. She went. So it was a time in our house where we didn't know what was going on. If anybody know, they had bombed the temple on 116th Street. And all the people were out there with Minister Farrakhan, the drunk junkies, everybody was like looking. They got pictures and photos. And my father's a photographer, the Nation of Islam, with Captain Yusuf Shah was his captain, and my brothers, and taking pictures. And I still have a lot of memories and a lot of pictures. And my father, most of his work is in the Schomburg Library. So if anybody want to see what I have posted pictures, and I want to say also, like, I thank Brother Carlos, Brother Salam Muhammad, because he said, Sis Lorraine, stop, you got too much. You know, I went to Baltimore and we sat down, and so I can have legal rights of all the pictures of my dad. I thank Brother Carlos for that. And he started taking it and putting it in a historian. We would go to Savers Day, he'll use the photos and paperwork. So that was the journey.
And, yes, ma'am. So Lorraine, first of all, thank everybody who's watching. On behalf,
I can't see the people.
No, I was just thanking you on their behalf. On behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank Allah for your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your family as well. May Allah continue to bless you all for the hard work that you have done and continue to do. Man, what are your parents' names, ma'am?
My parents?
Yes, ma'am.
My father's name is Leroy with 3X Thomas, and my mother's name is Mayola Thomas. My sisters and brothers, they all received their X. Brenda, 8X, my sister Eileen, 3X, my brother James, 44, my brother Alan, 52X in Temple. They all, returned to Allah. So.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I just tell my stories, but when I tell my stories, really nobody I can really talk to. So I thank you for inviting me on the show. But everybody that the pioneers, the few of us that are still around, we have there's a lot of stories out there that we could talk about, because just coming in the nation and we just receiving my ex, everything was speeding up. If anybody remember, we had the rally, the rally in New York, Randall's Island.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thousands of people, and it was beautiful. And I was on post. I still have all my pictures. So if everybody wants to see my pictures, I still got my original letter, Brother Joshua. And I got my ex in 1970.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And Randall's Island, that was one of the biggest things, was Randall's Island. So do you see the people come out? I got the album, the album, I'm gonna bring it to you with that. My father left me, show you the album.
Okay, great. Yes, ma'am. My sister Naima says all praise due to Allah. And thanks to everyone as we get this live history from Sister Lorraine, who got to see the Most Hon Elijah Muhammad speak, who got to see Muhammad Ali, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was the first person she heard speaking at the mosque in number 7, New York City, giving us great history of what it was like during the time of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was among us.
I still got these. Remember, anybody remember? Can you see it, Brother Joshua?
Yes, ma'am, I can see it. Black Family Day, 1974. That's beautiful.
Now look at the crowd. And I still got this one when we went to Savers Day. It's their albums.
Incredible. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And the back of it, this is the back of it.
Beautiful.
And then I don't know if so many remember this, but this is when we went to Savior's Day and he had the fez on.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you know all the fez were diamonds?
No, ma'am, I did not know that.
Yes, well, I'm gonna turn it around so those of you can see. And when we had went to Savior's Day, when he had the fez, had the fez in the auditorium,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
looked like every time he moved his head, you can see all the stars. All it was just bright all over the room. And if I closed my eyes and I was like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. He looked it good. He was strong, and the nation was strong, and the believers. And I got to go to my first Savior's Day in 1971. I was excited, and being a vanguard, I was chosen one of the sisters to actually we chartered a plane from New York to Chicago, and I still got pictures when on Minister Farrakhan on the plane. We all went. That was amazing, sisters, but we had our own plane. Chartered our own plane to go to Chicago. So it was amazing. All I can remember is like fun time, really be on time, So the next Savior's Day, everybody was ready. We used to wear fez. We had the fez and they had the headpiece.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Savior's Day was like a big thing, even for the house, for the children, everybody getting excited and everything. So my mom was just a little kind of back because during the time when they bombed the temple, they had killed a white man, a cop, a police officer, and they took daddy. And my mom was like, oh, she knew he shouldn't have joined that thing and blah, blah, blah. But the beautiful thing about it was, I think what made my mother and the neighbors and everybody see, there were FOIs outside we lived in a project outside our door. My mom would open the door, ask them if they want water, or if they were like this. They protected my family. They protected they stood, the bald head tall brothers, I don't remember their name, but mommy used to say, would you like some water? Would you like something to eat? No, ma'am. And I think that's what got her to really start easing up on it. And she didn't get, my daddy she didn't eat no pork. Daddy said, no more pork, no more this. And he took down her Jesus. And I remember she hid it in the closet. Mommy was slick. She hid it in the closet. So it was so beautiful because like when you went to Savior's Day and the dome that we was in and the lines all around the corner, but my most inner thing that held me up was when everybody sounded like thunder. Long live Muhammad! Long live Muhammad! Oh, it was like a thing that went through you that it just went through your skin. You caught goosebumps and everything. It was like a roar if you was there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It was like a roar. And it was just so beautiful just to know that, because just listening to my father about how his mother and his grandmother went back to Liberia following Marcus Garvey. So he had pictures of that. I don't show that and I don't keep it because that's daddy's personal, his family. But it was already in our DNA. And the only thing that I was glad is that they came back because his sister got sick. She was in Liberia. And if they didn't come back, he wouldn't have met my mom and then I wouldn't have been here.
Oh, praise Jesus.
Yeah, but I used to ask Daddy, what's that on the wall? It was a ship. A black ship on our wall in the projects. It was a ship.
Yes, ma'am.
And I used to say, what's that ship? And he said, we're going to Africa. That's the ship. I said, he admired that. I think my sister had, though, my brother. But we had good memories in the nation. But there's some things that stood with you no matter what. When the Honorable, he wasn't a good fancy speaker. He spoke very assalamu alaikum, but he made things so clear to you, like separation, land of your own. You don't need the white man. And my daddy used to listen to it on the radio. We had the radio at the time. And my mom, I noticed my mom used to be washing the dishes and go, you know, she was in that house listening. She was listening to. And you know, so the things that he talked about of separation, oh, you don't need the white man, he's a devil. And I was like, ooh, mama used to go, oh my goodness. So the things that he said and the things that will be happening, how we supposed to store things in our homes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like the things that he's talking, he said that there will be murder, there will be bloodshed. People will be killing people just to be killing people. And when I look at the news, I said, oh my God, he said, you're living in it now. But we didn't see it. Now, I'm just going to say this, is that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated, and it stayed in my mind, and it said that, you know, the fall of America, that there'll be blood to the horse's brow, something, okay, if I'm saying it right.
Yes, ma'am.
And it would be people that would be murdering people, and they wouldn't even have a mask, they'd just be killing people. And the other day, I picked up on my internet and said a young man shot a 17-year-old girl over a basketball game and killed her. Didn't have a mask, took his children home, came back with a gun. I said, oh, we're living in it now.
It's a fact, yes, ma'am.
But just to speed things up, I don't know much time we have, but I have a journal and a diary that I've held on for many years, and I share it with those who are pioneers. It took me many, many years to adjust myself in the nation. I'm just going to be honest because we're talking. I don't have no notes or anything, but all the pictures and photos I have, and all the pictures of my dad, was the Savior's Day in 1975 when the messenger passed. And we was all ready. We were standing online, and we went inside. We got inside, and everybody was all happy, Savior's Day. And, you know, we were sitting there waiting for the, because usually when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to come out, he was so little and cute. He was so little that big men were around him. So by the time you see them come up to the rostrum, you say, Assalamu alaikum. You know, you'd be like, oh my God. Yes, so it was they said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a daddy that he died of heart failure at the Mercy Hospital, something like that. I said, he did not, he's coming on later. My mind said that. So I know all those 1,000 people who was there to digest that. And those who not there, respect your pioneers. We went through something. I held my head. Okay, so we went through it. Minister Farrakhan came up and he spoke and he talked, and, you know, we held it together, and, you know, like we were going to be all right. Everything was going to be all right, you know. So as time went on, and I noticed I was going to the mosque and temple, and I would go, and we, you know, go get checked. Oh, there's no more checking, sister. And they took out the chairs. And I'm like, I'm looking at my brother, I'm looking at my sister. I'm not feeling this, you know, because I'm still already, because I was the youngest to fall in love with Honorable Elijah Muhammad. To make a long story short, you know, as the nation, they say the nation fell for the best. But a lot of us mentally went to insanity, went back to doing what they did, or just blew their mind, you know. But I thank Allah, I really thank Allah for the mercy, because when I see them and I say, who's that? He said, man, you know, that's Jimmy. Oh, that used to be brother so-and-so. Oh my goodness. You know, you be like, oh my goodness. And so one thing Daddy did, he just, I think he went into just playing his tapes. I think that kind of saved him. I think because he played it until I got sick of it. You know, I was like, Dad, you keep playing it. You know, the man's dead. You know, that's me. I'm young, you know, and Daddy playing it. I think that was the way of consoling him.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not making mockery at my father, because I you know, I admire that. You know, that's what he did.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's in the 70s. There's disco skating, there's fun, there's teenagers. I'm getting ready, I'm partying and this and that, but I never took off my clothes like naked or no clothes. I always had, cover myself because we were all still sisters. We were young. We were still hanging out in the project. Assalamu alaikum. My name was Sharonda. And then the 5%ers, that kept me going. Yeah, peace, God. Hey, brother, kept that sanity. Everybody didn't go to be no cold-blooded savage. And I just don't really appreciate people who say they've been in the nation and this happens, all this bad stuff. Everything wasn't bad. Everything was according to where you were at. That was bad. But I had parents. I had two parents, a mother and a father, who made sure that I went to the edge. But I had two FOI brothers. You remember that? And they was like, hey, you're going a little too far.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I was the baby, so I had somebody to keep me in check, even though. But I could remember the numbness of coming back after Savior's Day. See, Savior's Day, you're there with a lot of people, but in the comfort of your home or on the plane and going back, it was silence. Nobody wasn't a whole lot of whatever. But I thank Allah that for all who had made it and came through, Allah had blessed us, and the minister, Minister Farrakhan, rebuilding the nation, and it wasn't easy because I kept hearing it, but I wasn't ready. I kept hearing it. My sister, Mr. Farrakhan, he's coming back and he's going to the schools. I wasn't that excited. I already was in the clubs. I was already in the club. What? Where you at? Oh, okay. Talk to you later. Because I'm so as they was rebuilding the nation, and so I was dating this guy back then, and he said, Minister Farrakhan gonna be at Madison Square Garden. Let's go see him. Everybody going down there. And I was like, oh, so your dad Muslim, right? And I went among the believers. It was such a beautiful thing. I thank Allah. For the Hon Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because at that time we needed it. We needed that. The whole world needed him to rebuild the nation. I didn't come back as quick. I'm not going to say I'm no goody two shoe. I ran in the mosque. No, I didn't. I was still, hey, I'll be there. Yeah, until things start getting a little tight, So to rebuilding the nation and watching, standing on the outside, looking in, I just felt some things. People would say, yeah, the old pioneers, yeah, that's their fault. They the one made let the nation fall. And I would be like, ooh, because I'm coming into a new environment. And I didn't see the people that I've seen before. And so I'll be like, oh, okay. And so I had to come back on the Form 4, meaning, what you did when you was out and you had to have somebody. Well, I thank Allah that Louis Farrakhan Jr., and the brothers in the nation, they was already there. They was like, yo, we know what you're doing out there. And, so I said, well, you're vouch for me to come back. And they would say, sure. Because I would see them at Savior's Day. And I thank Allah, may Allah be pleased with Brother Junior Farrakhan. We were all very close. All of us was close. And Mother Khadija, the family, and everybody started coming back, So I was like, I don't know. I'm back and I'm just gonna see how things is. And one of the pioneer brothers was talking, and we was in Philadelphia at Mosque number 12. And he said, sister, if you coming back, you know the lessons. I said, yeah. He said, you swam 9,000 miles. What are you gonna do? Go back? And that was Brother Willie. He passed away. Now, lobby, please, his name was Brother Willie out of Mosque number 12. But the most important thing that I would like to share with you as a brother and the believers that are listening, my heart is heavy because I know I'm living in it. You could hear it for years, but when I heard Mustafa at the Vanguard retreat, Brother Imam Sultan, and all of them talk about how they had their little way of in the nation and how they didn't call their fathers, they called the Minister Farrakhan, and how the brother Sultan went to overseas, and how they had a book about Elijah Muhammad, but they said he was a kafir. Yeah. And I said, wow, see, everybody is sharing. So I can see, I wasn't looking in their window. I had my own window to look at. But I thank Allah for the mercy, Brother Joshua, because 2 years ago, I'm always helping people. I'm like my mom. She takes in people, I have that same attribute. I had diverticulitis, which is a poison in my stomach. And I was driving home, and like on a normal, coming from work, I was working at night, I was driving, and I fainted behind the wheel, and my car was total. And when I woke up and I was trying to get myself together, it was in front of the hotel here on Washington Street. The man said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm okay." He said, "No, you're not. You're not." So he said, you crashed into my car." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm getting my stuff up. I got my license." And he said, come out, get out, come on. And he said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Come inside the hotel." And I said, "Why?" He said, "You're not okay. I think we need to call the ambulance." That was an angel. Because when I rushed to the hospital, they got me in the hospital. They had to cut me open 42 stitches. I was in the coma for 4 days in. And when I came out of the coma, I thank Allah for my whole family and all the believers and all the sisters who prayed for me. That Allah is God. Yes, Allah is God. And he said, my name is something, and I heard him say Muhammad. And then he disappeared. And I'm saying, where's the man? Where's the man? My mind is saying, wait. He said, "No, man, we got to rush you to the hospital." But look at his name was Muhammad. And now that I write, I always keep a journal of things that go on, because my mom did. I picked that up from her, writing things. And I went back into a coma, and all I can see was smiling faces and people talking to me and my mom. And so when I came out, they asked me, "Who's the president?" And I said, "Trump." They said, "She's fine." So I just wanted to share. Don't take your life for granted. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. If you feeling something, don't say, "Oh no, nothing's all right," because there's too many of us believers that are leaving among us. And may Allah be pleased with Sister Ava, and I give my condolences to her and her family, the beloved sister. Because when I came back, I was like, "That's my girl." When I heard her speak, I was like, "That's my girl. Go ahead to see what she would." That's the kind of girl I want to be. But she has such a beautiful behavior about her that we all could be models from, of Sister Ava, such a beautiful Mother Tynetta. And I got to meet Mother Tynetta. I never knew she had a sister until we had our Savior's Day in Detroit, and I took a picture with her. Praise so I know you can see the pictures in the background.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Minister Troy in Chicago, and I can show you Mother Tynetta's sister.
Okay, great. We're gonna let Sis Lorraine show us. I want to thank everybody in the comments. People saying, "Oh, praise the Lord." Yes, ma'am. Both of my sisters.
Can you see her? Can you see her right there?
Right.
Can you see it?
It's a little glare. It's a little glare.
Oh, it's going because it's. Oh, I wish you could see it, Brother Akbar.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Wesley.
Yes, ma'am. I see that.
And there go my father and his brother and a brother from Ghana.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah.
Oh, I want to say one more thing before we go. I just want to share something with you.
Oh, we're not going nowhere. Yes.
Okay, Brother Akbar. Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Derek 3X. Thank you, Sister Miriam. Thank Sister Shamira. Thank you, Maya Abdul Rahman. Thank you for saying barely Mimi. Thank you, everybody who continue to like, share, subscribe to people's podcast. Brother Nelson Ramos. Okay, boom. This is Resilient. And thank everybody who continues to like, share, subscribe to people's podcast as we get first primary sources from Sister Lorraine. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. We're right here with you, ma'am.
Okay, this is the book. It's called Africa, the World Revised by Brother Akbar Muhammad. If you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have this book, get this book right here. Is it
Mm.
still clear?
Yes, ma'am. We can see it. We can see it.
Oh, okay. Because on my journey coming in the nation, Brother Akbar had always talked about Africa and Ghana, and so did my parents. My
Mm.
father was a Black nationalist, everything coming up to being in the nation. So that's all I grew up with was, Africa, talking about the Congo and, we got to do something. We got to get out of here. And, that's all I grew up. So reading this book and then meeting Brother Akbar, knowing him he's originally from my mosque, my temple back then, temple number 7, always talking about going back home. So in 2008, I had the opportunity to go to Ghana.
Mm.
And Brother Akbar, oh, may Allah love Brother Akbar, because he instilled it into us. And then for listening to Minister Farrakhan and just being aware of those, it's an engram. It's not easy to say, I want to go to Africa. People just don't want to go. Or it's a block. No, they did a lot of damage to the Black man and woman.
It's a fact.
And then the economy doesn't allow us to ever want to go home. That's how they set it up.
Yes, ma'am.
So I joined a group, Sankofa and Mbaki House, and I want to give all praise and thanks to Sister Maramuna from the Mbaki House, Queen. I bow to you because when the nation had fell, we here in Delaware joined the Mbaki House, was an African-centric group. And they always talked about Sankofa. And this is the bird that is a Sankofa that I had got from Ghana. This is the bird. It's called Sankofa, and it's made out of real wood.
Beautiful.
So in order to know yourself, it's like an egg. You see it?
I see that. I see that.
It's Sankofa, if anybody got the time to look it up. But Brother Akbar had instilled into all of us. And the teachers of the Nation of Islam, it was unified. At the time of the incubator that we was in, of the teachers, Hon Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan was and Brother Akbar, we got it all on our DNA, our children, everybody was drilled down. But as time went by, the unity, the steak and takes were gone, no more steak and takes, no more temple, we just went flatline. So a lot of things, but what the Hon Elijah Muhammad was telling us, and I was listening to a show, her name is Barbara Smith something, and she said, I'll send it to you. She said, yeah, when there was, Elijah Muhammad was asking to build a hospital in Chicago, people in Chicago got together and said, we don't want no Black hospital. We don't want no Black hospital. And she said they turned it into a park. I heard it the other day. A brother sent it to me. Thank you, Brother Babatunde. He sent it to me. I was saying, what? She said, yeah, it was a lot of cutting stuff that we tried to do as a nation. We are destruction to our own self and our own people. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. And that's what he wanted us to have, our own hospitals. So as time went on, I started to walk. I had to get my balance together. I had to walk. I went through a lot. I had a colostomy bag and everything, but Allah pulled me out of it. And it's a lesson. And I wrote in my diary, what am I here for? What is my mission? Because out of that, he didn't have to save me. I didn't have no scar. If you would have seen my car and the man tapping on the window, gas coming, smoke out, I'm talking about, I'm okay. I'm fine. That man was like, you are totally fine, get out of there. So it took me to enough levels, and I know that we will all be challenged. They said at least once a year of a death or something serious in our lives.
Yes, ma'am.
That we will all go through it and read in the Holy Quran. But I took a turn. Out of that. I think that accident gave me a push to what my journey and what I'm supposed to do. Because when the first time I went in 2008, I didn't know my mission. I got off the plane, it was playing drums, and it seemed like everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and everybody is entrepreneurs. It's no welfare, it's no SSI, no everybody's selling something. How much? $2, one apple, $4. Everybody's selling something. So, and everybody was doing for self. And you know what I want to share with the believers and the people? You even feel better when you go to a country and you see everybody Black. The mailman, the man in the store, the airlines, the stewardess. It makes you feel good. There's something about that when you're now all Black. And I wrote in my journal, well, that was 2008, and Mother, I can take you and show you the picture. She gave me the name Ya Asantewa. And I said, why did you give me that name? One more time. I'll be right back.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And while Sister Lorraine comes right back, we got a quick 60-second commercial break. For all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast, thank everyone. Continue to learn. We have some more great history from Sister Lorraine. And if you have any questions and comments, please let us know in the chat. Thank you very much. 1 second. There we go.
Brother Rashad Street Premiere. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Rock Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy, editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Rock Communications. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad's Conflict Mediation, squashing the beast throughout the Southwest region. He does a phenomenal job. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad's Giving Birth to a God and the Science of Child Rearing. Please make sure you go out and get a copy of her book as well. Fashion Gods, urban streetwear clothing for men and boys. 314-329-6009. He'll keep you dressed in the best of fashion. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Taj Hollywood's Chemistry 6 episode, a new television series out on YouTube. He's looking for actors and writers. Make sure you support him. Keep It Hood, helping others overcome depression. Also by Taj Hollywood. Brother Aaron's Elevated Places, stress management, real estate, credit, repair, and restoration. His Respect for Life Center. They do personal wellness, philosophy, emotional, and mental spiritual wellness. 229-344-1474. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon.
Boom. Okay, perfect. Sister Lorraine, thank you so much. And you have so many people in the comments showing you love. Brother
Thank you.
Derek 3X. My sister Naima says she loves Sister Lorraine's energy. Brother Derek says he loves to see people call you the smiling sister. You have a great.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you, Brother Derek. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, family.
Wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Now I had a few questions for you.
Okay.
Sister Lorraine, I wanted to go back. We're gonna bring it back present, but I wanted to go back to this. You're saying your father was arrested for the bombing of the mosque on 116th Street. Is that correct?
Okay, I'm going to show you something so you can see it.
Okay. And thank everybody who continues to watch, like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast to get this great history of the bombing of the mosque on 116th Street in New York City. There was a tumultuous time period in the nation, and Sister Lorraine and her family were there to witness this first.
This is probably glare, but this is the book where the brother Salim, he put mostly all the pictures together.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
and I told him my story, that all the pictures that he had in there was my dad, or either I was there. So I want to show you. It wasn't that because they thought my father bombed the temple. The temple was, they had bombed the temple, and the police officer had got killed. A police officer had got killed. So those who were there, that was around, the brothers got arrested. So it says here, New York police buy hate advertisement. So it was a winter. It was winter. It was a winter day, and it was cold. And you can see on a lot of photos where the icicles were actually on the mosque when it got burnt down. But to behold, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan built the temple right back, temple right back on there with a crown, with a star and crescent. If anybody know, 116th Street, a star and crescent was going around. It's a masjid now that a star and crescent was turning around. So they investigated them, and they talked to what he was doing. My father had a job, and I remember when the welfare people came to our house, and they said that daddy had to go. To my mom, if you're going to get assistance, he has to go. They were doing that at that time. You had a man in the house. Oh no, you had to, and daddy. They said daddy almost choked the man and made him get out and said, "I'll feed and take him home." They told me that story. I could imagine him. I could imagine, that's the things that they was doing at that time. But they just took a few that was left behind. But Brother Captain Shaw made sure, and Brother Clarence made sure that all of the brothers that got home, if anybody could remember that, I was looking for the picture. But these are the police officers here. That's in New York. Yes, we didn't fear. We built it right up and had a crown going around, and we got right back on track. And this was my minister, Farrakhan, Exposed the Deceit. This is one of the best articles that's in there. If you can, you can purchase this with Brother Salim. It has and I was there at all these pictures that was there. I was there. I could tell everything that happened here, that happened to us. But I thank Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is what I'm saying. This would literally put tears in your eyes. See the brothers and them all online?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's that unity stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the school I came from. All that, I don't know if I'm coming to the mosque or I ain't going. They used to knock on your door. The FOI is going to get you. You're coming to the mosque. FOI, we didn't play all of that. No, they didn't. And some my brothers and them, I don't know, they used to go, it was some kind of signal, and it wasn't no cell phone. So I wonder how everybody kind of knew back then that it was danger, or we had, yes, sir, assalamu alaikum. I'd be like, wait, where's my, just sit down. And they would go, they would go. We got all these gadgets right now, and we on the social media, oh yeah, oh brother so-and-so, oh yeah, I'll be there. I didn't come from that school. I didn't come from that. So
okay, Sis Lorraine, I got a quick question. Thank everybody who seems to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. On the way back, 1975, the chartered plane is coming back. Is the minister on the plane? Is the Most Honorable Minister Farrakhan? Is he on the plane?
You want to see it? Well, I got it. It's on the phone. I don't know if the phone could go to the picture.
Yes, ma'am. You don't got to. I'll go to your page and post it. I got it. Yes, ma'am. But on the way back, how was his spirit? Like, did y'all?
No, that wasn't the time that he had passed. That was before. See, I went 3 times. I got my ex in 1970. I went 1971, 1972, 1973. Now, we didn't have the jet or the plane when we went.
75. Okay. That's
75, because that's when we heard it, and I couldn't see the reaction. I just looked, because he was our minister. He was our minister.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
I was really close to him. But he kept it together. Some just went, lost their minds. I mean, some people did, but just to know that I didn't even know until years later on And remember, I used to get cute at my dad. Oh, Dad, he's still listening to that tape? Because it was a little cassette player he had. And he kept playing The Messenger, not knowing that he was doing it for me too, was going in my DNA, my mom's DNA. But me being cute, oh, Dad, he's still playing the tape. Not knowing that he was feeding me, he was giving me the vaccine of what was going to come down. You know, what was going to, when he wasn't here, with things that were going to go on. And I thank Allah. I keep my father's picture, all these photos here of my parents and them, you know, because this is a reminder, you know, of all those who were in my life. So Minister Farrakhan was very quiet. He gave it really over to Waleed Muhammad. It wasn't no bloodshed, because the brothers was ready. Brothers was ready. You could see it on their face. There was you know, anybody touched Farrakhan was going.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But he's very smooth about it. And Mother Khadija, she's just a fine example of what it looks like. She is the most beautiful thing. When I came into the MGT class and we had to learn how to cook and sew and stuff, and you know, I said, oh, okay. So we played and we laughed and we joked and everything. Brother Wayne, his brother is still in the nation. His brother was Brother Wayne, Brother Christopher. This is Sister Lorraine, his mom.
Yes, ma'am.
His mom. She knew that I didn't have a mom. And if anybody know Brother Christopher and Brother Wayne,
yes, ma'am,
Muhammad, and his brother was close. And I would go to his house, his mother, and she made my uniform for me, and she took me in like a daughter. So one time my mother said, where do you go on Wednesdays, and where do you go? And I was going over to her house because they, you know, you know, she's an MGT and she liked me, and she gave me so much to hold on to. I don't know if she knew that it was coming down the line. I was learning how to make bean soup in their house and kind of looking at Brother Wayne. He was kind of cute, you know, but I ain't gonna tell nobody. Brother Christopher, I hope you out there, don't say nothing. I ain't right. But I like going over there. So anyway, and she said to me, she said, sister, whatever happens in life, always hold on to what you had. I never knew what that meant. You know, what's hold on to what you had? I got everything. The nation is running. We got steak and take. And she used to just look at me, and she gave me a lot of wisdom. I think Brother Christopher, may Allah be pleased with your mom. Your mom, she was a beautiful sister. We don't even invite each other to the home when we come out the mosque. Assalamu alaikum. You don't even see, you don't know where nobody lives. We used to go to each other's houses, and we would, you know, have dinner. And the way my sisters, I watched and how my sisters got married, it would be like Brother Jeffrey, Sister Juanita, make believe, we have a dinner over our house, and you would come on over, and then we were matching each other. We were getting husbands and wives. You know, come over, have dinner. Now you don't go to nobody's house, have no dinner, sit down and do nothing. Not even before the COVID. You know, that was a way, because we were putting things together to make a family, to wholesome, to get a sister, to get a wife. Yes, there was nothing spooky about it. And she showed me how to make a table, and she said, Sister Lorraine, they showed us how to set a table. I set a table the way my mom showed me. I didn't know no better. You know, put the bean soup thing. These little things kept us. Even though I was out there doing my thing, you know, the brother that I was with, I had common sense, because he was in the nation at one time, but we stood together. We didn't go too far. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But when you have that DNA, that vaccine that the Hon Elijah Muhammad gave us, you will survive in this time. So how to store things in your home. Okay? How to can. Those things are going to take us to how to eat one meal a day, how to pray and fast, because you don't know when, things will happen. So, but back to Brother Akbar, we would always listen and talk about Africa, and and what else do they do, and this and that and that, and then, oh really, oh wow, I want to go one day. Where is that at now for our children to ever want to go back home? Oh, I ain't Africa, I ain't what, they got huts and everything. Oh girl, I ain't going to Africa, too hot over there for me. I'm just saying.
I mean, this is
but I thank Allah that was drilled into my DNA, because I had something to do that my father, when I got off that plane in 2008 and I touched the ground and the ancestors were kissing me, not physically, but the joy of that, he wanted to go back. Daddy wanted to go back. He was a black nationalist, and his father, I'll show you the pictures. He knew martial art. He taught me how to swim, how to protect myself. He even taught me, I said, Daddy, what do you mean? My father taught me how to live anywhere in the world. He was a Marine.
Beautiful.
And the thing that really got him, and it was so sad, I looked in Daddy's eyes. I said, Daddy, why you don't like the white man kind of like you don't like him? He said, baby, I was on a bus. I was in the Marines, and I was traveling through the South. And I looked up, and he seen 3 Marines hung on trees as he was riding the bus with their uniforms on. So when Malcolm got to my father in New York, and when he spoke to him, it hit him. He was like, yeah, I seen that. What are we seeing now? We loving white people. I watch the people that get money. All of a sudden they want to be white. They get a white woman. They move out the hood. They send the kids to Catholic school and higher school. They don't think about, come on, let's unite together. Let's build something in our community. Let's get the children out of the hood. I was really surprised. I'm not going to say nobody's name. The other day I was saying, what time is it, baby? I said, the clock is right there. She looked at I don't know. Where's my phone? The regular clock, the clock that we look at.
Yes, ma'am.
What are they doing in our schools? Well, I don't want to get on that anyway. So go ahead.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am. People are showing you love all across the country. Sister Minister Aisha says, from Phoenix says, she loves your spirit. You're very funny. Sister Shamira X Barnes is giving you the heart emoji.
Oh, yes, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Assalamu alaikum, sisters.
Yes, ma'am.
But one thing I wanted to share is that just looking and listening to the news and what's going on with our young teenagers, and we can't protect them. We can't. A little boy, 17, was in a basketball, 16 or 14, and he came out the game and they shot him. So and they said they would have kept shooting, but there was no more bullets, and the mothers cried out in Philly. From the teaching from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I don't know if we're doing this. Some of us are losing our children to the world. Say they can't help it, whatever to do. But the thing is, wherever I work, wherever I'm at in my community, if you go on my page, I'm always joking with the young people, but I joke and laugh, but I say it in a nice way. And I give them the final call, because I had the final call today, just for example. And I said, hey, what y'all doing? No, I'm online. You online. Come on, y'all let me. I'm going to do a TikTok. And they was like, Miss, you can do a TikTok. I was like, yeah, to the boys. I was like, hey. And so I gave them the final call. And the little brother took the paper, and he said, who's that? I said, that's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'll post it and I'll send it to you. And I said, who's this? He didn't even know who Farrakhan was. So he said, oh, well, I don't know. I said, so, ask your dad when you go home, maybe your dad knows these. My father's in jail. I said, well, maybe when is he coming home? I said, well, you save it for him. And then when he come home, you give him the paper and tell him he could come where the temple on Mosque on 28th Street, okay? And he took the final call. He didn't know who none of them was. He didn't know Farrakhan. He didn't know, and they don't have it in the schools. The book. So it's up to us. It's our duty as an elder, as a pioneer, to reach out to our babies, because that's our future.
Yes, ma'am.
And Daddy used to always say, you look at the Jews and look at the Italians and look at this and that. He said, we always saying, he used to say, we always saying they're coming in our neighborhoods and they taking things and stuff. Why? Because we don't have unity. We spend billions of dollars The teachers of Hon Elijah Muhammad, they spend, you read Message to the Black Man, that we don't have unity, and that's why we don't, that's why they say go out and vote. So I went to get my nails, and I ain't gonna tell nobody, but I went and got my nails done. But anyway, I said, oh, you're gonna go out and vote, right? And she said, no, I don't vote. I said, why? You don't have to. My family got business. I don't need though. What was she saying to me? She wasn't being smart. But in other words, we get what we get from our community. Now, if, for example, they stick together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that's something that we don't do as a group of people. I noticed that.
That's a fact. Now, Sis Lorraine, I had a question for you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And some people are showing you love all across the country and bear witness and just giving
I'm
you.
gonna tell you a story too.
I can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. Please let us know what city you all are watching it from. Sis Lorraine, what would you like your legacy to be, ma'am?
Oh, my legacy. I would like my legacy to be that I actually carried on the mission with all I could to my life and my death, that I carried and I touched children, and I have a spirit with children and families and babies. And I just want to share, I don't have no biological children. I went through something, I had a nervous breakdown, and it's very beautiful. My sister passed away, may Allah be pleased with her. And they was giving me all these electric shocks and all this stuff. And my sister came to see me. And so they said, no, she have to stay here, you know, as I had lost a child. My boyfriend got murdered. I come from the Nicky Barnes back in the day. I'm not ashamed to say it. Yeah, I know people see me on Facebook and say, yeah, I was with the Nicky Barnes and I was out there hustling. I'm not hiding from my background. No, I didn't snitch, because guess what? I could go back to New York. I go back to New York to see my family all the time. That's you that ran and bought horses in the South, in Atlanta, and horses and riding horses and can't go home, but I could. So you talk about my background with Nicky Barnes. Yeah, I was in that era. Yeah, I was with that. I had a boyfriend, he got murdered. Yeah, if anybody want to dig my background, I'll have no shame of that, because I could go home. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't go on the stand. I didn't do nothing, none of that. Why? Because I had brothers that was like, my sister not doing nothing. If anybody want to. So I did feds time. Yeah, I did. But I did my time and I learned a lot. I came home and I learned a lot. And it was mostly from the federal prison. They had a sister in there, we was doing Juma, and we was praying and stuff. So I was like, oh man. She said, no, why don't you just come? So I said, okay. So I did my thing. But when I came out, the forces were so strong. I couldn't, I was like, hey, what's up, you home? Hey, baby, hey. I forgot about the mosque. I ain't gonna lie. I tell you, I'm a mess. But it was my journey. So I don't want nobody to pull up nothing in the closet doors, because I know people know me and they know, you know, where I come from. And I came from Lower East Side, Nicky Barnes and the Fugazi boys. Well, you know, and so that's all in the past. So what was the other question?
Yes, ma'am, your legacy, ma'am?
Oh, what I want in my legacy is that I ask and beg Allah every day, what is my purpose? And what I'm seeing, when I took that trip in 2008, I literally had tears in my eyes, because I seen all the children. And they ran up to me when I went to Kumasi. I've been to Quidium, if anybody, that's where Brother Akbar is now, what they call the Nana at Quidium. And the children ran up to me. And they looked like me. Like when I was a little girl, and they was, hey! And what I was doing as an adult, I was giving that love to men. Instead of the children, the love you have for children is different from an adult, you know. And that was something that was a hole, that was a little hole. I ain't gonna say it was a little hole there, but the children gave me so much love. They used to pull my feet in the morning and hit me to get up. It was like, come on, what y'all doing? I was like, oh, I forgot I was in the garden with the babies. So yeah, they would touch me, and it was really, I knew then it was a healing process. And that I know from my addiction and coming out of that I had to, my legacy was like, I turned back. I work with people who are homeless. Everybody know, I drop off food. My thing is to go back to people like me, where I came from. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say it, because look at me now. Anyway,
Go ahead, Sis.
so that's that, and I love doing what I love my job. And my boss always say, "Oh, let Lorraine go out there and talk," because I work in the hood, you know, talking to people about getting food, welfare, give me your ID, you know. And hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Hey, how you? He said, "Okay, Lorraine, go out there and talk," because they get a little intimidated, but that's okay because I love my people, and I think my legacy would be that I try to do all I could be is give back. I'm not here just to be getting dressed up and walking around. I seen it, and I literally had tears in my eyes, and in my journal. And then they thank you, Sister Mamoon, Brother Babatune, and thank you for allowing me to be in the group. Because had I not been in the group, I wouldn't have had nowhere to go. I stayed in the hotel when I first went, so I can get adjusted. And when I went, it was so hot. I was like, "Oh boy, it's hot." So we have our own drinking water, and you know they take us around the group and everything. We was drinking. So after that, they said, "Okay, we will be checking out the hotels, and we'll be going, you know, to where the group is at, the house where we're going to stay. No air condition, no pool, and none of that, and none of that." And when the bed and no air conditioning, so I was like, "Oh, I know it's gonna come out here. It's kind of hot." So one day I asked one of they call him the house boys, and he was driving. I said, "Can you take me back to the hotel in Accra?" So he said, "Oh, you're gonna go back there?" I said, "Yeah, I'll go there." So I went in there and I got the air conditioning. I was sitting out there. I was sitting. Let me tell you the story. I was sitting in there. How we was reading, talking, had a little internet, you know. So they meant, "Excuse me, ma'am. Where's your room? You have your room key?" I said, "Oh gosh, what did I do with my room key?" They said, "Oh, you checked out, didn't you, ma'am? I think you guys checked out." I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "But I'm like a fish out of water. I couldn't take it at first because I went in December. I went in the winter, and my body was like, 'Yo, Lorraine, where you at? You was just, you know, it's winter time, and now you're here in the summer." So I learned to adjust. And one of the elders told me to drink tea in the morning, and I still do, because that would make your body like a refrigerator. It would calm it down before you go out into the heat. So a lot of things that our culture that we knew, like Mama used to teach us, those things are survival, you know, those things are. So I would like people to know me as Sister Lorraine, funny, caring. I love children. And Mr. Farrakhan, if you're out there and you're listening, thank Allah for L. Ron Hubbard and Dianetics. I would be nowhere where I'm at today. I had so many engrams, they was laughing at me. It was like, "Oh, Sister Lorraine, yeah, you got an engram." Like, "Yeah, yeah, you know." But I went all over the city. I went to Thank You, Sister Yvette, and Sister in Baltimore, Sister Yvette, and Sister Shirley in Pittsburgh. Not only did they became, because I was like, I'm just be honest, I didn't want to get audited and where I was at in my mosque. I wanted, you know, because I had some things going on, and I didn't want to look at out like that. So I said, "Well, we're going to be on." Thank you, Sister Melanie Muhammad. She's the first one to give me the L. Ron Hubbard book. Yes, she did. And so, and from then on, I've been getting assists. I got audited, and I never even knew some things, like, you know, I could go back into when my mom wanted me. She wanted me, but she was, because I was the last child. And, you know, I had went that far. My mother used to hold me, and she was like, "I got to do better with Lorraine. I got to do better," because she wanted to do better. She went back to school. She got a job. My dad became in the nation. So they made a good environment for me. So I want to give back as a legacy for myself, is to give back to those who had it. I was sick out of my mind. But other than I got it, so now I could deal with people. Some things they used to say to me, it used to get me. Like, I said, "What?" Sometimes I used to even curse. Excuse me, but you know, if you said something to me, it was like New York. You say something to me, I'm getting you back. I'm not that girl. So, but it's not cute, because you have to be a fine example with the MGT of civilized, you know. And I thank Allah I'm getting better, because with the talents and the teachers that I'm giving all the little children, all my little nieces and all my little nephews and everything, I give little gifts and dolls to them, but it says something. It's little black dolls. It's little black games. It's little black things for them to learn from. stuff like that. So that's where I want my legacy to know that I know what I have to do in life is to go back and help others.
All praises due to Allah. Excellent, Sis Lorraine. And Sis Lorraine, thank you. You've done a great job today.
Thank you.
Back. My sister Miriam says, all praises to Allah. Sis, your past does not define you. You have been made through the accepting. You have been made new through accepting these life-giving teachings. Sister Maya Abdul Rahman, you are strong, sis. Sister Lorraine, she ain't no snitch. Yes, ma'am. This is beautiful. From
thank you.
From people showing you love. Sister Aisha, Minister Aisha from Phoenix says, thank you for your wonderful testimony. And Sister Wanda.
Thank you.
ASA.
Brother, may I say one more thing before we go?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to tell you that sister, if you can see this picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see it, or is it blurry?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, this was my time in Ghana when we go to the elders. And we sit down with the brothers and sisters and ancestors, and thank Allah. I like to say thank Allah to Brother Akbar and his wife, because this time when I went after COVID, and his wife walked me through a lot of things. And one of the things about the group, Brother Balagoon and Rollins, was a big help to Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan and the president there, they were very close. So my security was there with me anywhere I went, even to money. Excuse me, hold on, come on. But sometimes I used to wonder. I'd be getting excited. Oh, how much is that? Oh, how much? It was that. They talk for me for bartering, because they could tell you not from there. They tell you it's $20. This is $20. It's be $5. So I thank the believers, and I thank Brother Akbar, because when I went, and they gave me the name Ya Asantiwa. They called me in the room out of respect. You sit, you kneel, and it's a stool. Thank you, Sister Mahmouda, for allowing me and grooming me. Thank you, Sister Anzinga, because when you go there, you don't want to be an idiot. The Western idiot that they talk about. I did good when I went there. So because they don't really have a good connection with American. Oh, she's savage, she spit on the floor. No, I was really, humble. So they chose me. They was like, we would like for you. This is one of the king's wife. And she said, I didn't know. I was just a girl used to be hanging out in New York, smoking crack, who am I? She said, Lorraine, the elders would like to speak to you. So every day they used to call me Ya Asantiwa. And I said, no, I used to tell them, no, I'm ignorant now. No, my name is Lorraine. You keep calling me that. I didn't even know what the meaning was. And so they called me and they said, it's time for you. If anybody's seen The Matrix, it's time. I was like, what you mean? They said, your name is Ya Asantiwa. And the next day you will go to the village to see her. I said, what did she do? So they gave me the pamphlet. She was a warrior. The men didn't want to fight the British when they came to Ghana to fight. So what she did, she put on the men's pants and she dressed it like a man. Ya Asantiwa, you could look it up. And she fought the British, and she fought with the women, and she fought. She lost the last war. If you look it up in Wikipedia, she lost the last war, but she was a fighter. She was a warrior. So I knew my name. So they said, tomorrow you will go to the village. I said, okay. Okay. And I went, and the statue is the big statue, and she's standing there with a rifle like this. And the statue is there. And I looked up at the statue, and she looked like me. Maybe a lot of pounds. No, it freaked me out. The nose feature, everything is just that she was thinner than me. But I looked at it and I kept taking pictures, and I was like, and she said, they said, you will do your mission as a warrior for your people. And they love Farrakhan, because if you don't like Farrakhan, I ain't staying with your house. You don't like Farrakhan, I'll get a room down at the Hyatt, But and I said, so what do I do? They say, we're going to go take you to the door of no return. I said, for what? I don't want to see those slave things. No, it's not you see them. You have to have that experience to go through the door of no return. So I said, okay. Now, I was already warned, and I'm going to tell all of y'all, if you go to Ghana, Amina Island, or one of them, because they got 3, and the big one, you're going to feel some kind of experience. If you remember, Obama said he looks at his wife different now that he went through the slave dungeon. He looks at what's his wife, Michelle. He looks at her different since he went to that door. So I remember just coaching us going. They said, yeah, I'm telling y'all, the brother was telling, I'm telling y'all, when you go over there, some of y'all might scream, you might holler, some of y'all might faint, you might get all kind, you might cuss the people out. And you know what I noticed too? A lot of Europeans take their children, their little kids, little white, Caucasians, they take their children. They travel. When I look around, it's a few of us groups going, but it was a lot of them. So you go to different rooms. Then he's saying, this is the room where the men were. And you see the shackles and the things on the wall. And it didn't bother me. He's saying, this is the room where they kept the baby. They had little on the wall. They had little shackles for children. Like, what was they putting shackles on babies? So I went into the room where they had women where they had sodomized them. Those were the women that fought, that scratched, that bite, that kicked them. That was the room they went. And you could see scratches like where they were scratching on the wall. So when they went out, it got something with me. And I asked the tourist guy and the brother that was with me, I said, can I be alone here? They said, oh, no, you can't stay alone here. You can't take pictures. I give them a couple of dollars. We from the hood. I said, hey, take a couple of these. Get out of here. Now, let me stop. So when I went into that room and I got pictures, and I'll show you, Brother Joshua, I said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And one thing, don't go into those dungeons with European clothes. Go dressed in white as a Muslim. I was told that. Lorraine, don't go there with European clothes. Those are the ones who did that to them. And you're going to go in there with, your Gucci bag and your pocketbook and your heels. No, you go, you're Muslim. And I prayed, I said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The more I said it, the more strong I got. The more they kept, you could feel the kisses all over my face. And the guy was looking out, to see if the people was coming, because I don't want to take pictures. I don't want people, I can't tell. So I was taking pictures, and you could see in my pictures the sparks. They were flying. I was freeing their soul, our ancestors, freeing their soul. So when I got the name, I went back to my family and I wanted to know more. So I went to Dallas, Texas. Thank you for the Demas family and the Baker. And I found out that my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather, we have over 100 and something acres in Mahia, Texas, that my great-grandfather, he killed a white man, and we still have the trunk on the property. And they gave me all the pictures on how my great-grandfather had the first post office, the Bakers, on my father's side, it's my father's side, and how they stood and hold down, and one of the children got burnt up, and my great-grandfather did it, and we all go rub the tree with my father's grandfather, and they started talking about what we did in the past. To know then I was like, I see why I'm this way. And I sat with the elders for 4 or 5 years. I kept going back, listening to the stories so I could see who I am. It's good to know who you are. Oh, my great-grandmama said that. Girl, she used to be something else. Girl, she used to knock you out with a fist. Just stuff like that. So reach out to your family. I know my family say I get on their nerves. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, when you come with me tomorrow, girl, did you read the Final Call? Like it was an album that came out. I could get excited. Girl, did you read the Final Call? It's like, oh, where is it? Here it go, girl. Look at this. Then the vaccine. Guess what? My phone was, when that COVID came, my phone was running. Which the elderberry, the Paximune? What? Yeah, you need me now, huh? But it's all good. But I just want to share one thing on my experience of going to Ghana. And I wrote in my journal. I went after the pandemic. One of the things that the government is trying to do. Thank you, Dr. Halim. Thank you so much for your knowledge and wisdom and all that you do with regarding the COVID and those who are on your team. I got on a plane in June, the end of June. So I asked them, I said, do you have to take a shot to go to get into the country? Said, another airlines, they said, yeah. I said, I'm not taking a shot. So I'm like, But Sister Malmuna, thank you, Queen. She said, Lorraine, it's time for you to go. She sounded like the org in the movie.
Yes,
it's your time. So I listened and I obeyed. So I get off the plane. And they said, where's your vaccine card? I said, I took the test. Here it go. This is the test results. It's a positive. No, that's not enough. You will go back And I said, oh, yeah. So my niece, Susan, I want to thank you, Life, for being there with me and let me do the lead. I looked at them, man, they had shotguns, everything was, you can't just say I'm coming in the country. So I said, well, what you can do, you can call the Brother Balagoon and them, and they can come and talk to you, because I have a 2-month stay here. I'm not coming here to eat and burp and go home. So call Nana, and he came into the airport and he talked with the brother. Thank Allah for Brother Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for making friends. I left, I paid them. That's all they wanted was a little dough. It was a game to scare me. Here, give me money, give me CD. You could stay. I knew the game. But I'm just saying, thank Allah I was able to go. And this experience that I had was most phenomenal. It was beautiful, because what I wrote every time, I don't see one cigarette butt. And when I go to Ghana, I don't go one place. They're busy in Ghana. Brother Balagoon, they're moving. They're business people. They're buying gold. They're buying land. We moving and driving every day. And we drive. That's why I show you the pictures. Driving a Mercedes Benz and living in houses, 8-room houses with air conditioning. Ain't nothing sloppy about where I was at. Yeah, air conditioning and everything, pools and everything. I showed you pictures. So I don't want to go to Africa. People living in huts. Everybody ain't living in no hut. They tell you that because they don't want you to go to see the beauty of it. You can spit on the ground and a banana will grow.
Mm.
I'm
Excellent.
just saying,
yes,
literally.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, Sister Lorraine, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Because we went over time, I want to make sure that we get this on YouTube right away. Thank everybody who's watching.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Let them know. Sister Lorraine, this means so much to myself, my family, and the viewing
I
audience.
love you and your family. Give the family the greetings.
I love you more. Please give the group. We love you more. Please give the greetings to your family as well.
Thank you.
This is Elijah Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There we go. Perfect. And thank everyone for watching.